Hello.
Hello.
So, welcome on. Okay, thanks, computer. That's not what I want to do. My computer is trying to open 3 things I didn't click on right now. Give me a second.
No.
Welcome to Undertale. If you don't know what Undertale is, it's an RPG where the neat little thing about the game is that you can spare just about every enemy in the game. So that's what we're going to be doing today. TPE stands for True Pacifist Ending. Glitchless means that I'm not doing glitches. So it's the closest this game speedrun can get to a very traditional RPG. But before we can start that, I believe we had an incentive or a bid war for naming the fallen human.
Yes, we do. Let me pull that up right now. The fallen human, the winner with $275 is Frosty. Frosty.
All right. So with that, are we all ready to start?
We're ready to go. Go ahead.
All right. And then 3, 2, 1, go. So starting off in Undertale, it's going to be fairly simple. This game was made in Game Maker, and it doesn't really have momentum. It's an RPG, so really a lot of it's going to be mashing, which you can already hear me doing. There's 2 things when it comes to text in this game. You saw me mashing, but now I'm not. This text, so this game has 2 major buttons. It has your confirm buttons and your cancel buttons, and usually cancel will like zip you to the end of a text box, but that doesn't work with every text box, so I have to watch this text scroll all the way. But when you can mash very fast, so that's going to be a major thing throughout the run, is trying to get through text as fast as possible. I'm here with Star Smiley, who also runs this game.
Hero.
And the ruins are a very simple area. The kind of thing that's happening in this game is that Toriel is guiding us through this place. She's a very motherly character and wants us to be very safe. So while we're together, I can't really do too much without her interrupting with a bunch of text. I can't even menu correctly. Also, I see the game as graphical glitching a bit. The game likes to do that for some reason to me while I'm in ruins, and I don't quite know why. But I'm going to take a second to talk about a reason why, because I might actually know. Although other people don't have this problem. I think a few do, but I am not running this game 100% correctly. Despite being on a Windows PC, I am actually running the Linux version of this game. There are 2, if you were to go to speedrun.com/Undertale right now, you would see something very important, and that is that there are 2 game versions listed under a subcategory. There is 1.0 and 1.001, and then every version 1.002 and beyond is in a different category. That's because every version of that game, or every version beyond that version, has Japanese text, which saves a lot of time. However, the Linux version of the game only exists on this version, 1.001, and the input system in this version is a lot different, and quite frankly, a lot better. So it's a major thing because playing without it generally just makes the game much more frustrating. So it's a difference that, a lot of people have different things on, and one version isn't necessarily more, like, widespread in terms of, there's one version that's more popular, and that's the version I'm playing on. But, like, no one's gonna, like, condemn you for playing on a future version. I'm in the ruins now. I'm getting encounters, and I'm not doing menuing properly. I'm trying to spare these encounters to try and get gold. You can't get EXP when you're sparing enemies, but you can get gold. And I want 7 gold by a certain point in this area so that I can buy something that'll be useful for a skip later. I always fall through the floor here. This screen is one I struggle with a lot. I feel like every runner I watch can always get to this screen just like super easy. Yet every time I do it, I always mess it up. If I'm like not very specific. I think that's just I'm bad, but who knows? We're about to hit our first mini boss. So I guess if there's a donation or a question or a star, you want to say anything?
I believe there is a donation. Give me 1 second. Yes. We have $5 from TL252 that says, no goat should go unhugged. I absolutely agree. Let's get our donations in for Hug That Goat.
Oh yeah, I could talk about that during this mini boss Napstablook, because Napstablook is going to do a bunch of these attacks where we don't do anything because they don't really want to attack. At the end of this run, there's a goat we get to hug, and there's a donation incentive to hug it. That's about it. Please hug the goat, though. And that's Napstablook. So, as I said earlier, I was trying to kill enemies as I went through here, so I can buy this donut. It's going to be very important later. So the spider donut, the spiders are holding a bake sale, and that'll come back later. For now, there's another item I'm going to pick up, though, and that is going to be the Faded Ribbon, which is an armor item. Because if the goose can look pretty, we can look pretty, too. It'll come into play later as well. That's a major thing in Undertale, is kind of foresight. A lot of this route, and one of my favorite things about running this game, is that in the glitchless category, there's a lot of speed strats that are actually based on like Easter eggs in the game that like a lot of people will look at and think, hey, that's cool, and not realize that it actually has a really good gameplay potential. So you're going to see a lot of things in this run that you might not have known about, not even in terms of speed strats, but just about the game in general. Gotten a lot of encounters here in the ruins. Getting an encounter in this area is... a lot of the encounters in this game is based on stepping, and for the most part, you know, you'll go through screens that either have cutscenes, so you don't have to worry about encounters in them, or are too short to give you encounters. So the ruins is like the only major area where encounters actually come into play. But now we have to do some things at Toriel's house, like grab the pie. The pie is the best healing item in the game. It also has a bunch of Easter egg-based uses that speed things up. So I guess, Star, if you have anything you want to say, well, we go to the...
I want to ask, what type of mashing are you using?
I am using, I think people call it cookie mashing, which is based on the runner Cookie Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's random mashing, right?
I'm not good at it. The main thing about mashing in this game is that a lot of people try to like cycle. So I'm using Shift, Z, X, and Enter as my main mashing buttons. A lot of people will try and go like left to right with that. However, my left hand doesn't like me as much as my right hand does, so I like physically can't move that as fast. It's not my dominant hand. So I really can't do that because I struggle with moving my left hand fingers fast enough. So the boss fight against Toriel, you saw me get hit a bunch, and that's fine. Toriel is an example of a character or an enemy who has like an instant end attack, where as soon as you hit a major part of the thing, it instantly ends the attack. And so, as you saw, when I was getting that hand attack, I would just run into the hand and start the next turn immediately. That's really good because to spare this boss, you just kind of have to stand here and press the spare button for 13 turns until she talks at you for like 2 minutes. There's, I think, more advanced strategies to get even more hands to appear on this fight, but for the most part, I just kind of stand there and hope I get hands. It's pretty effective. Now we just kind of have a bunch of cutscenes, so any incentives to plug, any questions, anything goes here.
Sure, we have a donation ready. We have $5 from Daniel206 that says, I came into some money and I'm happy to help. Thank you so much. Every single dollar makes a difference. Thank you.
Also, we're getting hugged by a goat here. This isn't the goat we're gonna hug later. So if you want to see more, if that one was cool, you want to see more goat hugs, there's a neat little incentive that you can put money towards.
Yeah, this was a, required hug. We have an optional hug later. That's the one.
And we have all game to get that incentive met. So
That's
You
the best
have-
part. We have
Mhm.
like a 2-hour run. We can absolutely get this going. And we also have a possible Pringles race. If you haven't seen the speed run of Pringles, you want to see the speed run of Pringles.
It
I
is a
played
very good
Pringles.
speed game.
I played Pringles for the first time at Genesis PAX SGDQ in 2019, and my life was forever changed.
Wait, I've received a clarification. It's actually not the video game. They will be eating actual Pringles
Yo,
live on camera. I'm more excited for that. Hold on. I need to see that
Wait.
happen.
that sounds awesome. I want to
So
be a
if
part of
you-
that.
If you want to see Zoe and Liz in studio on camera eating physical Pringles as fast as they can, you better donate.
Oh my goodness. All right, so coming up is a character that I think is really cool because I run this game and I don't know this character's name. The game never tells you this character's name, and it's a very small group of people that do. I've never taken it myself. If anybody in chat knows this character's name, please say it in all caps. This is Papyrus. I know his name. So as we get into Snowdin, the second area, we get these two new characters that are very funny. They like laughing. That's how you know they're funny. But Snowdin is going to be an area with a lot of cutscene because that guy, Papyrus, he likes to talk a lot. And here I'm going to put everything in the box and then take everything out so that the Tough Glove, the item that was already in the box, was the first item in my inventory. And then I'm gonna equip the Tough Glove. Equipping a weapon seems kind of weird to do in a pacifist run, but it's actually gonna be very helpful because it puts the default weapon, the stick, back in my inventory. And you usually can't re-equip the default stick, which means that it has some special uses, such as against all the mini-bosses in this area of the game that are dogs. Usually these fights will take multiple turns, however, if you throw the stick at a dog enemy, it will instantly make the enemy spareable within one turn. So I get to use that a lot throughout this area, and even in some other places in the run, to make equipping the Tough Glove very worthwhile. And thanks to that menuing I did with the box, I don't have anything in the item menu to get to the stick, which is good, because that's going to be our most used menu item, probably in battles. So, Papyrus' whole thing is that he's not very good at making puzzles, or he accidentally cheats. So, it unfortunately kind of turns this area into a mash fest, which I guess opens the floor to questions about the run, if anybody has them so far. You have any questions or things?
I have a question.
What's
Have
up?
you learned any other categories of this game, or what is your favorite category of this game?
So the only other category I've learned would be the opposite of this category, which is the genocide category, where the goal is to make yourself the worst human possible. And that is one that can get kind of annoying, so I'd have to say this is my favorite out of the ones I've done. However, this being a glitchless category, there is a very dominant glitch in this game known as the punch card exploit, which it's been a very long time since I've tried to do a run with the punch card in it, but it is a very cool looking run, but doing punch card exploit is frame perfect every time you do it, and you can buffer it, but like even still, it's very intimidating. So maybe I'll try it out someday, but right now I have other speed games I want to focus on. For now, I'm fine just doing the occasional glitchless run.
Makes sense. Great answer. Thank you.
Also,
Do we have
there's
time for
Swift-
me to talk about our little game of the month thing that we do in FF for a little bit?
Oh yeah, absolutely, because that's why I learned this category.
Yeah, so every single month, the Frame Fatales ladies nominate games that they want the entire Discord to learn, and we vote on them. And then we all gather resources, we watch each other stream, we get in a voice chat, and we hang out and we teach each other the run. And I also learned a category of this game for the game of the month. I learned the any % glitchless run, or the neutral glitchless. And that was so much fun because it was something I never would have done if not for game of the month. And I think it's an amazing opportunity that we have to get a ton of women together to learn some new games and new genres we wouldn't necessarily do that don't relate to our main speed game. I learned Goose Game, I've learned Undertale, and this month we're doing Celeste for February. And that's really exciting.
I came up with that name.
Lori comes up with a lot of our puns.
Yeah, I think we've had like five game of the month so far, and I think I came up with the name for 3 of them.
Yeah. It was this one was Megalovember and Knuckles.
And Knuckles, because we had Sonic Mania and Undertale in November.
We know
that was a fun one. Speaking of
got a
Sonic
ton
Mania,
of Knuckles.
yeah, Sonic Mania, that run earlier was really good. All the runs have been really good. Now that I think about it, this has been a good event. I threw a stick at a dog and then I hit the dog. I got hit by the dog. I didn't hit the dog. I don't condone that. The dog is another enemy that has one of those attacks where if you hit it, you get hit by it, it instantly ends the attack, and I got that. Good luck on it, so yay. Being a dog, though, there's a dog right there.
I have another question from chat.
Go for it.
What is your favorite encounter in the game?
My favorite encounter? That's a hard one. Okay, well, I think I have an answer, but I'm going to talk about the things I just bought first. So I just bought 2 items. I bought the Manly Bandana, which is another armor piece. When I bought the Faded Ribbon, I mentioned that it was also an armor piece. I need to get a lot of armor pieces throughout the run. And then I also bought a Bicycle, which is a healing item that is double use. So it heals 11 HP and then turns into another item which heals 11 HP. And that's going to be good for a strat later in the run I'm going to do. As for my favorite encounter, I think I'm going to go with just simply my favorite enemy in the game. It's probably the Sunder Plane. I just think that's a really funny encounter.
I totally agree. But almost every enemy in this game is so fun to hang out with. It would be hard for me to pick.
I think another one of my favorite things in this game is undecorating the...
Yes, so good.
Also, in the far... I died to Papyrus. That's not good in a speedrun, except for when it is, and right now it is. So as you see, I didn't actually die, but when I got down to 1 HP, Papyrus captured me by throwing me in his garage, which I was very able to get out of. So this is one of my favorite fights in the game, Papyrus, and I think a lot of people might agree with that. This is a super fun fight. You get to learn like the blue soul mechanics where you get to jump like this, and you do a lot of really cool things, and it's very in character for Papyrus because it's a very wacky fight. Unfortunately, there's a little Easter egg where if you get captured by him 3 times, he will just let you skip the fight, and that's faster. So you don't get to see this fight in a run because skipping it is better.
Semi-unfortunate because this song is really, the fight song is really good.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's an amazing song. This whole game's OST, if you haven't noticed yet, is amazing.
Yeah, this is like my study music. I just play it from top to bottom, and it's just so beautiful. All the motifs through it, and
I don't think I could study to this music because I think I just dancing too hard or something at some point. Which is also true of this game's in development. I guess it's a sequel technically, Deltarune, which I'm not only very excited for the full release because the Chapter 1 demo was amazing, but I'd also like to give a shout out to Star Smiley, who ran that demo last Frame Fatales event. I just heard something get placed on a desk. So now that I've died in air quotes 3 times to Papyrus, he's gonna be like, I can't fight you. I don't know why. Because I can't read the text when it's moving. But I'm gonna say no to fighting him, and that's gonna be the end of this section. Although we're not done talking to Papyrus though. So, well, we're technically done with the fight. The game will still let us go back and hang out with him, which is, I guess, one cool thing that the Easter egg allows us to do this. So in order to get to the true pacifist ending, you have to go on this little date with Papyrus that we're about to go on. And not only does this Easter egg let you go to the next part of the game, it also just kind of lets you do this date, which is cool. Because I was thinking about it recently, and I was like, it's totally possible that the game, that Toby, while making the game, would let you do that, but just miss out on the ending.
I love the date. I think the date is one of the best optional things you can do in the game. It's so fun.
I wish there was more to it in the run than mashing.
Agree.
Like, you know, I wish it was kind of more minigame based. I think that would be fun. But it's still really funny. I mean, Undertale is really good. The writing in this game is great.
All the writing's really good.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
Chad,
sorry.
No, it's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Do you like spaghetti or do you not like spaghetti? I need responses below. Thank you.
I will let those guys answer it for a bit.
You can go ahead. Go on ahead.
Hold on. I gotta do a very hard. Yeah, there we go. So I didn't eat Papyrus's spaghetti. Earlier I mentioned in the run that there's text, like the text you're about to see here, that you can't perfectly mash through and you have to wait for it to scroll. If you eat the spaghetti that's under Papyrus's hat, you have to wait through like 5 seconds of that text where you can't mash through it quickly. But if you don't eat the spaghetti, you don't go through that text. So I saved 5 seconds.
Spaghetti skip. Let's go.
Yeah. It's pretty hard, actually. Like, it's pretty hard to get that without intentionally slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
So I did pretty good there. Probably would have been a gold if I was running splits.
Heck yeah. I have
So
some people in chat loving spaghetti and some people saying, I would only want Papyrus's spaghetti.
I hate to tell you, but Papyrus does not make good spaghetti. I'm sorry.
He's a bad cook. It's so sad.
But he's a cool guy, so I can't like be mad at him. He was wearing a shirt that said "cool dude." I really don't know how to tell you this. He's a cool dude. He also had basketballs. Pretty dope outfit choice. So now we're gonna get into Waterfall, the next area in the game, and this is one of our major characters right here, Undyne, who is very, very cool, and they don't like us too much. So I guess something that I have neglected to mention, if you don't know anything about this game, which honestly, not to, you know, like, diss you if you don't know a lot about this game, but I'd kind of be surprised if you didn't know a lot about this game. Being a human in the underground where the monsters are is not exactly the best scenario to be in, because they actually want to hunt and kill us for our soul. So Undyne, being the leader of the Royal Guard, really doesn't like anything about us, and is going to try and hunt us down throughout the entirety of Waterfall to, well, there's more game after this, so as you can probably tell, not very successful. She's really cool, though, and I think that's important. Also, Papyrus is going to be very not helpful. He's a doofus. So he's going to like accidentally be helping Undyne while trying to help us. Doesn't really come into play, but like, you know, Papyrus is just a funny guy.
Even if you like don't tell him the correct thing you're wearing, he will still get it wrong and say what you're wearing, right? I don't think you can
Something
avoid
like that.
helping
Point
her.
is, these events with Undyne are going to happen no matter what
Yeah.
Tyrus does, so you can't really blame him. Speaking of what's happening right now, this is Spears, also known as Spears 1, because it is the first of multiple Spears segments. Undyne just kind of throws these spears at you based on your position. If one hits you, you get into this little mini encounter where you have to dodge falling spears for a few seconds. And that makes it very good to not get hit by a spear, because getting hit by a spear means you're just kind of standing still for a few seconds, which is not good, because the goal is to get to the end of this area, which fortunately I did without an encounter. The second spear section we do is going to be quite different, and there's a little bit more to it, but that's in the future. For now, we get away thanks to Monster Kid. Monster Kid is a character that doesn't really understand the whole human war against humans thing, because he's just a kid, which you can tell because he's wearing a striped shirt. That's an actual symbolism in this game. I like that. The kids are all wearing striped shirts. But he is not only unaware of all that, so willing to be your friend, but he is also like Undyne's #1 fan, which is very cute. At this point in the game, you might have seen that door up there. That's where you would get the punch card if you were doing a glitched run, and you would start breaking the game right now. However, since this is a glitchless run, I don't really have. So this is like the big difference between a glitched and a glitchless run. For the most part, there's not too much you can do glitch-wise before you get the punch card.
You can't stop log in the first 10 seconds.
You can.
Oh no. What causes that to happen?
Undertale. This game is not made well.
Just Undertale.
Yeah, this game, that's a little... No dents. Like this. There is a lot of very funny code in this game.
Do we have time for a donation while we're hanging out with Onion Sand?
Yeah, actually, because we're about to go hang out with Monster Kid, which is also a lot of mashing.
Sounds good. We have $10 from Not that says, Sans be like, weh, 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 weh. I think I pronounced that right. I hope I did.
We'll go with it. I don't know what was happening there. I guess, though, does everybody in the call Sans impressions?
We just had mine, apparently.
Star, you want to go next?
Absolutely not.
All right. Well,
Lori,
you know
it's your
what?
turn then.
All right, I'll go. Hold on. I need to clear my throat quickly.
Okay, that was really good.
Yeah, that was a good
That was
one.
actually phenomenal.
That was a good one.
Okay, so this room you can move really fast. I should talk about that. So you might have seen this thing I've been doing basically all run, called wall humping, where if you hold both up and down well against the top of the screen, like a wall at the top of the screen, you'll see all kind of shake like this. That is a really good way to get your step counter up really fast, but what it also does is it lets you interact with stuff on the top wall without having to stop your right movement in order to like face the top wall. So it does actually have some nice uses. And for some reason in that one sideways room, it makes you go really fast. So this is Spears 2. It's like the first time we got attacked with spears, except it's not the first time. She being Undyne, is going to sprout these spears from the bridge, and we are going to have to dodge them. You might be seeing I'm doing some pretty weird movement in terms of moving through this bridge, and the reason for that is because Undyne tries to read your inputs in order to know where to spawn spears, so that spears will get like a little bit ahead of you. You know, cheating, basically. However, what you can do with that is you can manipulate it. So like you saw on that part of the bridge, I was kind of moving down a lot. And that's because when I'm holding down like this, she'll try and spawn a lot of spears on the bottom part of the bridge. And then I can just simply move up and dodge the spears easy. So it's not that hard to segment. And now we're gonna have one of the few cutscene parts of the run where the human name gets shown off. So, yay, donations are putting them to use.
Our good
Not
friend
only to-
Frosty.
Our friend Frosty. We kind of have this cutscene, which is really weird, but it alludes to a moment that happened in the past that we'll get some insight on later. And now we are awake again. In my home, the garbage dump. I'm going to drop a save here because this mini-boss coming up actually deals a lot of damage. So I could die if I mess up, and it's a marathon. Anything could happen. Flygon was there for Octopath. Anything can happen.
Especially during marathons.
I really hope I don't curse you again like that.
No, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean, the Octopath run at Frame Fatales in August wasn't, like, cursed.
Yeah. And we also did get a $10,000 donation during Octopath, so we can't complain too much, you know?
No, it was a great time. So this is Mad Dummy. Mad Dummy is mad, which is a move, but also has magic. The magic attacks are these little dust balls you can see, and they're pretty important because that's how you actually not deal damage, because this is a pacifist run, but this is how you advance the Mad Dummy fight, is by hitting him with the magic dust balls. So these guys will aim at you, these little tiny things will aim at you, and you have to try and get them to hit the Mad Dummy. The optimal fight here is a 5-turn fight. I usually get 7. And I'm probably going to get that here. I mean, it's already turn 7, so the only way I don't get it is if I somehow get 8 turned. And I'd be very upset if I got 8 turned. Okay, it looked like I was pretty close to 6, actually. That wasn't bad. So at this point, we're going to get another form of enemy and another form of thing that can attack the dummy. However, unlike the first form, where you're shooting the dust balls, these missiles don't actually matter, and this is just a set number of turns before the fight ends. So, you know, I guess this is a good time to plug that, hey, you can donate to Hug the Goat at the end of the run.
Sounds good. Yes, you in chat can donate so that we can hug our amazing goat friend. We are on our way to that incentive. We need to get 1,500, and we are currently at $790. That number keeps going up. Thank you so much for all of your donations. I also want to talk a little bit about joining our Discord and maybe becoming a part of our marathon in the future. Are you a woman watching this right now who speedruns games, likes to watch speedruns, likes to help with tech, wants to help mod our chat, or just wants to hang out with any of us? You absolutely can do that. Go on to Twitter and follow the Frame Fatales Twitter and comment on the most recent post, and we will get back to you. You also can email framefatales@gamesdonequick.com if you don't have Twitter. We would love to see you there.
So Napstablook's here. Also, it's a great Discord. I should mention that. With the Discord, it's a great place. But Napstablook's here. Napstablook is in the Discord. I don't think that's true. But he sure is in the game.
But I would love that.
That would be great. Oh my god, it would be so much fun. Okay, so yeah, Napstablook broke up the fight between the dummy and I because it was kind of getting crazy, and I almost forgot something. I need to buy the cloudy glasses. So that's another armor item. I picked up the old tutu at the very beginning of this area. Yeah, I did. That's another armor item. So I'm doing very good on my armor item collection. I have 4 different armors, and I'm gonna get 1 more and then use them all later. For now, I'm just walking though, so this is a good time to open the floor for questions, actually.
All right, let me see. Hey, anyone in chat, do you have any questions for Lori about speedrunning Undertale, about the Discord, about just how her day is going? I'm gonna ask, how's your day going, Lori?
It was pretty good. I had 2 substitute teachers today, so I did like nothing.
I love that for you.
Yeah. Star, how was your day today?
I pretty much slept all day, honestly.
Awesome!
That's amazing.
I
I've
wish I
been
could
here
do that.
hanging out and chat with everyone. And also, thank you everyone for watching. Just wanted to say that. We appreciate you being here. Oh, I have a question in chat. Who is everyone's favorite character?
Oh, Alphys, easy.
I'm gonna have to go with Asgore.
I think I like Undyne the best. I think her battle theme, her energy, she's just like the powerful woman I want to be, you know? There's a lot of Temmie in chat. I wholeheartedly agree. I think Temmie is one of the best characters and one of the best themes.
I'll leave my takes to myself. Nah. It's impossible to hate Temmie, I think. I don't know.
Another
Also,
question...
because Temmie's a direct reference to the artist, so
exactly.
it's really hard to hate Temmie.
Another question is, what is everyone's favorite theme? I really like Fallen Down Reprise.
That's a good one.
I also really like It's Raining Somewhere Else. I think
That's
that's a really beautiful, underrated track from the soundtrack.
That is one of my favorites. I can't pick a favorite because this game's soundtrack is just too good. But because it barely shows up in any speedrun of this game except for one category that I don't even think is on the main category boards, I'd like to give a shout out to Muppets Battle Theme Spider Dance.
Spider Dance is a whole bob.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna save here. Star, do you want to answer that soundtrack question?
My favorite is Finale and Flowey's Fight, hands down.
That is really good. So there's... Sorry, go ahead.
That was it, sorry.
Okay. I have a whole lot to talk. So, a fun little known thing about this fight is that in the act menu, you can challenge Undyne like I'm doing right now, and it will speed up Undyne's bullets in this green soul phase. Another fun fact that people may know is that if you keep getting attacked by Undyne, Undyne will keep getting really mad. A maybe less known fact is that if you get Undyne mad enough, she will start attacking at a speed that is faster than any speed you can reach by challenging her in the act menu. So because of this category actually has a strategy where I'm intentionally doing that. I'm intentionally making her angry, so now her bullets are gonna go super fast, and I'm gonna not run away. Many people that have played this game are probably thinking to themselves, why are you not running away? Because that's the point of this fight, is to try and get to the end of this long stretch of area. The thing is, for some reason, so there's only 3 green soul cycles that can happen in this area before getting another encounter with Undyne just puts you back to a point where you can immediately flee as soon as you get the encounter. So what I'm actually doing is by not staying, or rather by staying in the fight, what actually happens is instead of moving into the second green soul cycle, and after, okay, I'm trying to word this better. Point is, that's the whole fight. So not only did I make her super angry, which made her bullets faster than they can ever go by any other method that you can speed up Undyne's bullets in this fight, but also staying in the fight after doing that puts her into a state where she starts her 3rd green soul cycle and just entirely skips her 2nd. So it's entirely possible to do everything you need to do in the fight in just that 1 soul cycle, and then just keep running, and that's Undyne. It's probably the hardest way you can do the normal fight against Undyne without going into the whole genocide route shenanigans of Undyne the Undying, and it saves 8 seconds over doing the fight like a normal person. So that's called Kindergarten Undyne, named after the quote of "I'm not your kindergarten teacher," once you keep getting her mad by taking damage from her attacks. It is scary. It is no doubt scary. But on top of being scary, you also saw that on the last hit, I intentionally took some damage, and I'm now at 2 HP. Now that we're done with Waterfall, we're about to get into the next area of the game, which is Hotlands. And in Hotlands, we meet two characters once we get into this lab right here. We're going to meet the nerdy, clumsy, favorite character in the game, Alphys, and her killer robot, Mettaton. Mettaton is a TV personality, which is, of course, there's a TV personality. The game's not going to get crazy. And every time you meet with Mettaton, you have to do some really dumb, fun thing. And it's a great time. The first thing that you have to do with Mettaton is this quiz show that you might know about. And every time you fail a quiz question, you take damage. And if you are at a low enough HP where the laser would usually kill you, instead of killing you, what it does is it just takes you straight to the last quiz question. So while trying desperately to survive the hardest Undyne fight that is possible to do in this branch of the game, I'm also trying to intentionally die. So that as soon as I start the quiz, I can just get this question off. Okay, so I accidentally got the question right, because that's how I brain. What's the king's full name? Let's not... Okay, there we go. Let me answer the question wrong this time. And now I'm on the last question. So, I accidentally answered B. The correct answer is A. Or, no, the correct answer is B. I don't want to answer the correct answer. I want to answer the wrong answer.
Lori, you're just too smart. You're just too good.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be bad and I can't do it. I like to go to A on that answer because A has the least amount of text on this question that we answer of which character Alphys has a crush on. It's also correct, technically, even though every answer you do on that crush question, Mettaton marks as correct. In my casual playthrough, my first playthrough of this game, I guessed Asgore, because I didn't know who Asgore was, because I probably didn't read into it enough. That's my fault, though. So we're done with that game show now. And Alphys is going to upgrade our phones, which makes her one of my favorite characters because we are now getting her social media posts left and right. And, well, that is really fun casually. In the run, it can get kind of annoying because just about every screen you'll get interrupted by a text box. So you'll just be trying to move, and then suddenly you'll have to mash text. And sometimes you forget where text boxes are. So, another thing is that I'm trying to keep myself at low health, so I'm not going to take saves for a little bit, which can get a little scary, but it's not really scary. Because I need to go pick up an item in this room. If I go down here, I can get one of the best weapons in the game, the Burnt Pan, which I'm going to equip. Unlike when we picked up the Tough Glove, just so that we could get the stick, I can't immediately go into why we picked up the Burnt Pan without spoilers. Everybody's played Undertale. We have to do a fighty fight later. So I pick up the Burnt Pan for that. Because it's one of the best defensive items in the game. And I accidentally dodged laser. Oh, okay. So, if you're at death HP, and you get hit by one of these lasers, Alphys will just disable them. As you can see, I don't have to worry about them anymore. And while that doesn't immediately seem useful, it's very good because not only can some of those laser puzzles be pretty annoying to get through at times, but it will also disable some lasers later in the game. So that's very good. Because there are some points where lasers would be a lot more annoying, and those ones have been disabled. So I'm doing East and West puzzle, named because there are puzzles on the East and West side of this area. The goal is to kind of hit that target with the amount of bullets you have in the little arcade gamey thing. That's something you can't forget about, is that this is a puzzle game. There are a lot of puzzles in this game. They're all pretty easy, which is good, because I am, unlike the quiz accidentally getting the question correct would prove. I am not big brain when it comes to puzzles. Seriously, you should have a puzzle game in my figure it out. Fortunately, what we're about to do here is pretty easy as well. We just kind of need to grab all these cake ingredients and put them on the table.
This is my favorite Mettaton with the little chef's hat.
Oh, it's great.
So cute.
He's gonna try and take our soul for the cake, because it would be tasty. But Alphys is gonna come in clutch in the last second and give a shout out to all of you vegans and say that, hey, human souls are not. So, with that, there's this little human soul replacement pan that is nice and good. What would you do, though, if... This is still a weird part of the game to describe for me. So...
What are you talking about? This is totally normal.
To get the vegan replacement for the human soul, we have to turn our phone into a jetpack and dodge some food-based bullets for about 45 seconds. That timer on the left is a hard timer, so it's not like a timer of how long this minigame is, but it is a timer that if it runs out, you will fail. Every time you get hit, it takes a little bit, you have to spend a little bit longer in this section. So the goal is to do the section without getting hit, and it'll take about 45 seconds.
We have time for a donation in here?
Yes, I'm getting hit, so.
All right, we have $25 from Flygon Fiance. I wonder who that is. Great run so far this marathon. Special shout out to Frozen Flygon for introducing me to the speedrunning, and I love to see all of your involvement in the FF community. This donation goes towards hugging the goat at the end of the Thank you.
Yeah, the goat. That's the end of the cooking show. That's the core in the background. The core is like the place, the big place that connects to the barrier, which is where we want to go. Oh yeah, we have motivation in this game. The goal is that we're a human, so our soul is able to pass through the barrier that connects, or that separates the Earth from the underground, with monsters being sealed in the underground due to that barrier. So, please take this. Thank you. Our goal is to leave and go back home because we accidentally fell. I picked up another armor item. That was that thing I picked up, was the stained apron. It is an armor piece that is very good. So it's gonna be the one I end up using once I get to do the thing I need to do with all these armor items. Also, I finally get a save point I can use. Okay, also, I need to use it, though. It's been a while since I've been able to save because of all the stuff in Hotlands that requires you have no HP. So, I appreciate that save point. And we get into a fight here with the two Royal Guards. And I do the wrong thing. So the goal here is to clean like that. And if I do that enough, I can do this within one turn. Make the second guard, and that'll get the first guy all sweaty. So we whisper to him. And he could no longer focus. And we're gonna have some good old love story on screen. Also, they are not in sync right now in animations, I think, which is funny, because they talk about doing things in sync. Yeah, right there. All right, and that is the Royal Guards. So, we're now going to get to some more Metaton madness. I really like this part of it, though. Not only because, you know, the Royal Guards is a great little interlude, but also because Alphys just kind of goes on a tangent, and Metaton is on the news. And there's also bombs. Do you like bombs?
I love bombs.
Need everyone's opinions on bombs, because these are bombs.
We need everyone's opinions here. What would everyone pick from here? I kind of like the annoying dog. I think that's really funny.
Also, these are some of the lasers that are disabled because I messed up the bomb defusing. Not because I messed up the bomb defusing, but it's the lasers that are disabled because I got hit by the lasers early. So you see these things are moving around, but they're not doing anything. That's another big part of the reason why I wanted to do that. So because I messed up that one bomb so much, the time limit is actually like very mean right now. It's still an easy time limit, and nothing bad's gonna happen to me because I'll do this part. There are a few bombs that you can defuse just by mashing the attack button. All of the other ones you have to go into this menu to defuse, like the dog and the water. There we go. So I guess now is a good time. I am about to get into I'm about to go to the next floor of the core. So that part where we get into the core is from the Metaton Hotel at the top right of the map. So on right floor 3. This is how this place is segmented: left floor and right floor 1, 2, and 3. And we're about to enter left floor 3. So we're almost there, but until then I have a lot of puzzling to do where I just kind of need to focus and make sure I don't do the puzzles wrong. So donations, questions, everything.
All
Go
right.
for it.
Sounds great, Lori. We have $25 from JLT that says, hug the goat. Yes, I will give you guys an update. So we have $865 towards our goal of 1,500. We have a little bit over an hour, and to ensure that we hug the goat at the very end of this run. We don't want to make the goat friend sad at the end. None of you want that. So let's get our donations in. And we also have a lot of naming donations coming up. You can choose which character is going to be run in the Odin Sphere run next. We have a lot of awesome incentives that you should totally check out.
Okay. I had a brain fart on that puzzle for a second, but we're good. Earlier, Alphys called us on the phone and asked if we wanted to watch anime. I said no to watching anime because if you say you want to watch anime, she spoils the whole anime for you basically on the spot. And, well, I don't really care about the anime spoils. It does take a lot of dialogue, so...
But is anime real?
Yes, we'll get to that later. I'm going the right way, huh?
Do we still have time for more donations?
I want to say a little bit here first. So if you remember, the very first item I got in the whole run was I bought a spider donut from the spider bake sale in the ruins. Coming up, we're about to meet the kind of boss of all the spiders, which is Muffet's fight. Muffet is one of my favorite fights in this game and has one of the coolest songs in this game. If you buy something from the spider bake sale and eat it in her fight, you get to skip the whole fight. So that's what I'm gonna do. And with that explained, you can read another donation now.
All right. We have $50 from Retrovirus, and it says, my fiance and I met thanks to Undertale, so it means very much to us both. It's a game so full of warmth and charm. Seeing it at GDQ is always great. Shout out to my dear Gabri. P.S. We both want to hug that goat. Me too. And that's a very special story. Thank you for sharing it with us, and thank you for your donation.
Mm-hmm. So after I finished Muffet, I went back and saved. Seems like a pretty weird way to go about things, but it actually is going to be good because once Metaton starts talking here, my game's going to close. say hi to my wallpaper, I guess. Say bye to my wallpaper.
Bye wallpaper. Bye wallpaper.
So that is a part of the game where this game kind of functions in a New Game Plus system, where unless you get like, if you get a normal neutral ending, you can, if you choose to play the game over again, you kind of have to go through in a New Game Plus state. And there's some conveniences to playing in a New Game Plus state. One of those things being this, you'd usually have to watch this like 2-minute musical. However, the game detects that if you've done this part before, oh, I have to get my map up. If you've done this part before, you can skip the musical, and instead of playing the whole game just to get that effect, you can just Mettaton talking and then reload and lets you skip the musical, and that's still like a decent chunk faster than going through that musical. And now we're in this tile puzzle, which was explained to us a while ago, except I mashed through it. So I have a map for this that I colored in like kids menu crayons and try and navigate sometimes, and I think I messed up. Hi, did I mess up? Hello. Yeah, I messed up. It's fine though. I'm just gonna fail the puzzle. So if you fail the puzzle, it's bad, not because, you know, you didn't move right fast enough, but you have to slowly flames close in, and that's not cool. So I lost some time there, but
That was pretty close, though, honestly. I've never even seen the end of that.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to do, even when I know what I'm doing, because I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'll let you in on a little secret there. The whole thing about that puzzle is that you kind of have to remember it from a while ago, and even then, if you're like trying to play the game casually, if you don't have a map for that, and even if you still know the rules completely, and so do I, you probably won't get that. Because it's a very tight time limit. So
a lot of people in chat are saying, I didn't even know you could solve that puzzle. So
yeah, no. I have a map that I took a piece of lined paper, ripped it out of a notebook, found some like kids menu crayons that were randomly on my dinner table, and tried to color in some pot tiles, and I taped it to one of my monitors, but like as a hinge on the top of it, so I can flip it back and forth right here.
That's amazing. I love that.
And I used that. And even with that, I still failed the puzzle. It's not easy. Especially when you get lost like I did there. Mm-hmm. It is possible to get lost. So coming up, we have the core, which we didn't talk about this during the music part, but this is one of my favorite songs in the game. And the stick comes into play again. I can auto-spare this enemy in one magic wand, which is another cool little Easter egg, because that guy's a magician. I messed up. Lasers. So lasers, that's the thing I never explained. Colors are a big thing in this game, where based on the color of something, it will behave differently. If an attack is blue, you can dodge it by standing still. And if an attack is orange, you can dodge it by moving while it goes through you. So that's kind of a big thing. And we get through there. So there are two ways to get to the boss from here. We can either do this bridge with 3 really long encounters against really strong enemies, or we can just do this puzzle. Guess which one is faster?
I'm gonna guess not doing it.
Well, you were wrong.
Darn.
I'm sorry.
I tried my best.
I believed in you. And you know what? I'm proud of you for trying.
You know, I've never done a run of this category.
Yeah.
I'm usually just destroying monsters at this point. I don't deal with any puzzles, so.
I'm gonna take a save before this boss because I did a marathon run of this game last week. Shoutouts to the RPG Valkyries and the people that were RPGs, which were the RPG Valkyries. I did a run of this game there last week, and I messed up this fight horribly. So I'm gonna drop a save right before it. Fortunately, in that marathon, I also dropped a save right before it, but like, still.
I believe in you.
So I have a yellow soul. By the way, our phone had a yellow button, and that turned our soul yellow. And now we can shoot stuff with it. Like this. It's pretty cool. Coming up is the Mettaton EX fight. So I'm about to do something that is very difficult, actually a very hard strat to do consistently, which is called Quiz Skip. One of the more iconic parts of the Mettaton fight is a part where you have to take the time to use your keyboard to type in a phrase, what you like most about Mettaton. If you do the fight kind of near perfectly, you can skip that. The way to finish the Mettaton fight in the pacifist route is that you have to raise the ratings of the show in which this fight is being aired on. The fastest way to do this is by getting fashion points, and the way you get fashion points is by equipping pieces of armor. So all those armor pieces I've been equipping all throughout this run will all be equipped in this fight alone. As I mentioned earlier, the best armor that I collected so far was the stained apron, so I'm going to be saving that one for last. On top of that, I can get more points by shooting everything in sight. I can get violence points by getting hit. And I accidentally ate the pie. That was the thing I did last marathon, made me close the game, and I'm going to do that again. Fortunately, Mettaton EX is another kind of, what's it called? New Game Plus thing, where instead of doing all that stuff just to flip the switch again, I'm going to immediately flip the switch, and now I'm going to get into the fight.
That's cool.
And I did equip the ribbon. So, as much as this is a part where, you know, I'm not talking a lot, it is a part of focus, so I'm going to ask that I can get that.
Absolutely. While Lori's focusing, we have $15 from Arden that just says, hug that goat. We have just under an hour to make that happen. Let's do it, chat.
Okay, so I was less than 100 getting quiz skip. So I'll show this off. For some reason, if you type hot Finentacute, it counts as a very good sentence. Nobody knows why. There's a few keywords in there, hot, fine, and cute, but for some reason you can just add the NT, and it counts that all as one thing.
Who discovered that?
I don't know. Although, the person that showed me off to me, and someone I'd really like to shout out, is Ocean Bagel, who's another run of this game. Ocean Bagel knows literally every pixel of this game.
That's amazing.
Like, it's crazy.
He also developed several useful mods for the game that make it easier to run as well.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
if you want to learn this game, you can make it as easy as you want, thanks to Ocean. And also, Ocean is just a super friendly guy. So, like, that's great. So, yeah, as you can see, it was a pretty fast Mettaton fight once I did it right. It's a really fun fight. I wish it was... It's another one, kind of like the Papyrus situation, where I wish we could do more of it, but of course, that just wouldn't be fast. So we gotta get through. And Death by Glamour is another song that really slams. Which I don't really know if that's a word people use to describe how good a song is, but I'm going to use it as one.
You just did, so it now is a word people use to describe it.
So that's it for Mettaton. We're gonna walk with Alphys. We're gonna learn a thing right here, and that is that we can't actually escape the underground. To do so, we need both a human and a monster soul. So we'd have to kill Asgore if we want to leave the underground. And that means that we're getting near to him. We're gonna have to fight Asgore real soon. You know what happens before we have Asgore, though?
Lori, what happens?
All right, get this. I'm not good at math, but if I had to say a number, I'd probably say 7 or 8 minutes of cutscene.
Oh, yes.
So you know what happens in 7 or 8 minutes of cutscene?
We talk about donations?
We talk about donations, we talk about incentives, we ask questions. We have a great time.
All right. You heard her. Chat, give me your questions. Right now, first, I'm going to say that we have $5 from Felix Young Amphibian, keeping with the frog theme. Thank you. And it says, hug that goat with 5 exclamation points. I see your passion. We really want to hug that goat, and I do too. So let's get those donations in for that. We're at over $900 on our way to 1,500. We can absolutely do this, chat. If every single person watching put in $2, we can make it happen.
And I have $2, so I hope you do too. If you don't, that's fine. It's fine if you don't. Someone can put in some extra for you, I think.
Yeah, minimum donation is $2. You can make it happen. I have a question. What's everyone's favorite color?
I like purple.
I also like purple.
I like green.
I thought so. Your favorite Pokemon is green.
My favorite Pokemon is Flygon, if you didn't already know.
Speaking of which, happy Pokemon Day, everyone.
Yes, happy Pokemon Day. How about everyone tells me their favorite Pokemon in the chat? That's a fun time to spend 5 minutes.
Well, I have a few picks for my favorite Pokemon. I want to know if you can guess what those would be.
Do you like Scorbunny?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like Baneri?
Yeah.
Am I missing another bunny?
If you want to get technical, Azumarill is a rabbit Pokemon.
Okay, I didn't know Azumarill was a rabbit. Okay.
But another common rabbit Pokemon would also be Bunnelby and Diggersby from Generation 6.
What about you, Star Smiley?
I haven't really played Pokemon. My first Pokemon game was Sword and Shield, actually.
What's your favorite from that?
I have to go with Cinderace.
Ooh,
Yes.
so good. Okay, I have a game-related question now. Has anyone here played the Switch version and battled the exclusive boss? I have not. I
have not either.
Okay, so none of us have.
I actually, I don't know anything about that fight. So I also realized, hey, I'm at 2 still. It's fine. I'll get a save. I actually have to save for something coming up after these cutscenes.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing all of your favorite Pokemon in the chat. I love seeing everyone.
I want to hear some of chat's favorite Pokemon. Tell me some of the names you saw.
We have Lucario. We have Flareon. We have Snivy. We have Ninetales. We have Furret, Lapras, Levion. We have a really good diversity here. We have Snom. Snom is good.
I want to shout out the person that said Flareon, because Flareon is an underrated evolution. Flareon is amazing.
We've got Buizel, we've got Blastoise, we got Raichu, and guess what, chat? You guys are just getting ready for the Pokemon Snap Run that's coming up.
Oh yeah!
Because we met the bonus game too, thanks to all of your generous donations. So you can see some of your favorite Pokemon during that run. And I'll lead that into now our next bonus game we're going to, bonus game 3, what you've all been waiting for, Super Metroid. We need to get to 44,000 in total donations. Every single donation you make towards hugging the goat also gets us to Super Metroid. So your $2 is going in 2 different places. Let's make it happen.
Dang, that's as many places as you're putting in dollars.
It's amazing. You can't get better than that.
2 for the price of 2. Okay, that sounded better in my head. I almost have a skip to explain.
We're getting there. We've almost killed all of that cutscene time.
We did. Talking about Pokemon.
That's my favorite way to kill time.
You know what happens after the skip I'm gonna do though?
What?
We get like another minute of cutscene time.
When I was hosting for Final Fantasy VIII, I also killed time talking about Pokemon. It's my standard strat.
It's a good strat.
I know.
Doesn't love Pokemon.
Right? And we have $5 more from Kier that says, hug for growth, brother. Thank you. We're starting that $5 donation train. You have $5, $2, any amount of dollars. Throw them in. I'll read it on the air. Let's do this.
Okay. Please, that computer. Thank you. Okay, so what I just did there was I saved and then I quit the game once Sans started talking. The reason I did that is to change the Sans' text type, actually. So I mentioned the two types of text. Usually before Sans' face shows up on screen, that type of text right there is not scrollable. So I'd have to watch the text scroll by letter instead of being able to auto skip through it. But if I reload the game, I can skip through it. As you can through, that's usually not possible. So it's nice. If you keep doing that, if you keep reloading the text, you can get a key to his house, which is a pretty funny set of cutscenes. That doesn't really do anything for the run, but it is a really funny Easter egg, actually. One of my favorites in this game.
I totally agree. There's a lot of awesome Easter eggs that like make this casual run just really, really, really fun to go through.
And like all the stuff that I mentioned earlier, talking about what I like about all the Easter eggs that actually in a run of this game. Like the armor, for example. I still have all the armor pieces in my inventory. Not they're all mine now. I'm hoarding clothes. So I'm going to drop a save in this throne room because kind of shenanigans with this game. So the way that the true pacifist ending works is that there's a part of the ending that a flag isn't set until you've gotten a neutral ending. So in order to get this ending that I'm working on right now, I need to do this thing I'm about to do, where I'm going to be fighting Asgore and then another boss after Asgore. So because I save in the throne room specifically, because if I don't save after all those cutscenes, I'm going to have to go through them again. However, I don't save on that door right before Asgore, because otherwise I'll have to walk through that one hallway again. So it's a very specific place to save. So, Star, do you want to talk about quads? Because even though I'm probably going to get like one, it's still a good thing to talk about.
Sure. So quads in this game, you have 4 bars that you have to get directly in the center with the pan, and they're all frame perfect. The thing is, with the pan, they're not exactly in the center. They're like 1 frame to the right or left, I can't remember, away from the center. So it's really hard to time. You can get a perfect ad score by getting 36 of these in a row, which is insanely difficult, and not many people have ever done that in a run. So, and getting even just a few quads is really impressive.
Yeah, as you can see, I got one turn I attacked. Even if you get 3 of those like orange hits and you miss one of the frame perfect inputs, a quad still does significantly more damage. So
yeah, it does like double the amount of damage.
Sometimes you just miss all the inputs. The optimal amount of turns in this fight is 9 technically. So in any percent, it's 9 because that category is just neutral, so you're allowed to kill stuff and still just get an ending that's acceptable for the run. Here, it technically also is 9. However, you saw I ate the pie. The pie belongs to Toriel. Toriel and Asgore have divorced at this point in the story. So eating the pie in this fight reminds Asgore of Toriel and lowers his defense, which also makes it possible to like do a kill in 9 attack turns. However, you have to use a turn to eat the pie. So it's technically a 10 turn. People consider it a 9 turn though, because you're using one of those turns to eat an item. And really, the turn count is more based off of these frame-perfect inputs instead of, you know, the actual turn number. The one thing to keep in mind, though, with failing quads and keeping your turn number high is that the further you get in this fight, as you might be able to tell, the more challenging it gets. So if you're someone like me who is not very good with timing and therefore struggle with quads a lot, and trust me, they're frame-perfect inputs. Everybody struggles with quads. one thing that's really important to get good at if you want to run this game, especially a category with Asgore, which is most of them, is knowing how to dodge Asgore's attacks even when they get really fast. Because otherwise you will just not be able to get runs past this guy, and it will be very frustrating. Especially because in this category, it's over an hour into the run. In any percent with all its glitches, it's not quite an hour. In fact, I think the neutral world record is like, it's high 55 minutes, and the next boss we're about to fight is a very long fight that is also in that run, so this happens like for like world record pace run like 45 minutes into the run or so, maybe a little bit more than that. I got 2 quads. I think that's the best I've ever done on it.
That's pretty epic, honestly.
It is.
Let me know anytime we have time for donations, because we have a ton thanks to all the amazing viewers.
All right, well, let me explain what the heck is about to happen, because things are about to happen, and then you have all the time in the world.
Sounds great.
Asgore, we killed him. We're going to take his soul to go to the barrier, but he just died. Flowey, that person from like 30 seconds into the game, is back, and is going to take the 6 human souls. The reason why they were killing humans is because some really tragic backstory that we were talking about Pokemon in the middle of. And basically, we want to break the barrier, and the monsters want to break the barrier and use the power of the souls to win the war against the humans, finally. So human souls have a lot of power, and Flowey just took 6 of them. So Flowey's going to be very powerful, and we're going to do a very long boss fight. There's also a lot of cutscene before the boss fight. So you said we have a lot of donations? Hit it.
We really do. Thanks, everyone. So we've got $5 from Artstrolabe that says, I didn't know about the stick gimmick in Undertale. I find more about this game every day. Me too. We've got $5 from Mathtron 5088 that says, my favorite Pokemon is Emboar. Here's 500 cents for number 500.
Oh, damn.
We also have $10 from Garby the Glitcherous, who says, good luck, Lori. Hug the goat. And we have $10 from Skoogloodle, I believe, that says the commitment of organizers to make this event happen for this great cause and the other events is just so good for this community. Thank you for your donation. Do we have time for more?
I am literally still in the pre-fight cutscene.
Amazing. I'll keep going then. We have more donations. So we have $5 from Super Cooper that says, thanks everyone for the hard work. Let's get to 1,500. We can totally do it. We just got to keep this donation train going. We have $5 from Mewtwo also that says, hug that goat. Yes, let's do it. And then we have $4 from Anonymous that says, hug time. Yes, I will give you guys an update on how much we have towards that 1,100. We have $971 towards that. Let's keep pushing.
Let's keep pushing. If I recall correctly, we probably only have about 40 more minutes to meet that, so...
We have 40 minutes. Again, everyone in chat, just drop $2 and tell me your favorite Pokemon. I would love to share.
So this is Omega Flowey, also known as Photoshop. As you can tell, there's a lot going on right now. I got lasered, which happens, I guess. I don't understand how the lasers work in this fight, but sometimes they happen. I'm going to die. That's not preferable. Am I going to die? No! How am I not dead?
Don't worry about it.
In this fight, okay, well, in this little area, these little soul mini games, I can't die. So I'm going to damage boost up to this act button. The point of these mini games is to reach the act button to call for help for each of the 6 human souls that Flowey has in his possession right now. In between all of that, you have to do this fight, which is a very difficult fight. There's this little fight button that appears we can use. It barely does anything. I'm still going to be going for it, though. And that's about it, except for, like, yeah, going into each soul minigame. There's a little thing you can use, like a little trick you can use to know where each act button is going to pop up. So, like, in that first one where all the knives were moving, I waited for them to move left or right, and then I moved left because they were moving left. Here, if I move a little bit to the left and then just hold up, I will hit the act button there as it spawns, for example. All of them have a little, like, thing you can memorize, like a little pattern to them. And then your only chances to heal are once you finish up one of those soul mini games. So, and also now he can save state Flowey, which is a very dangerous thing because he can choose to make a save state and not load it.
I have a question from chat. Whose face is that up there?
I think people have said it's Toby's, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think it's a random guy, honestly.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm pretty sure nobody knows what Toby's face looks like.
He's just the annoying dog. That's what
like,
Toby looks like.
Like, even he went on stage for an award ceremony or something, and he wore, like, a mask, so... like an annoying dog mask. So I don't think this would be the place to show Toby's face.
Fair.
I guess Sakurai knows what Toby's face looks like.
Do we have time for more donations in here, Lori?
Real quick. We're about to get into the 4th of the 6 soul mini games. I need to ask you a very important question.
Yes, Lori?
Left or right?
Let's go right.
Okay. This is a soul mini game where words come out of the left and right, and it's a 50-50 chance whether the act button will come out of the left or right. Usually it comes out around the same height, but you know, whether it comes out, and it came out of the left, so bad luck.
Darn! Oh, I'm not helping you out.
It comes out of the left 90% of the time. It's rigged.
You know what? I'll give you, you know what? If you want to feel better, last marathon run I did, I asked the host to pick, and they picked right. So, you know, I don't think it was meant to be from the beginning.
I'm not alone.
Well, no, they picked correctly, is what I'm saying. So I think my marathon host luck was already out.
It ran out, yeah.
Yeah.
We have $5 from Eric's121 that says, I'm here to rep my favorite Pokemon, Absol. Good luck, go fast, and let's see that Super Metroid run later.
You know what I should actually do now that I think about it? We made a joke about, haha, I like rabbits, but I don't think I ever said my favorite non-rabbit.
That's true.
I'm gonna go with, maybe an underground pick. One that you might not hear on a lot of favorites lists, but one that, when I first got them in Pokemon X, was probably my favorite Pokemon to use. I'm gonna go with Tyrantrum.
Okay.
And Tyron, one of those fossil Pokemon. That is a great Pokemon.
That is a great Pokemon. I have another favorite in here. I've got $10 from Willow the Whisper that says, my favorite Pokemon is Azurill? Is that an option? Well, we should hug him either way. I agree.
I was gonna say, Azurill is a very huggable. Okay,
very huggable.
Right here, these bullets are firing, and eventually the act button will fire from the gun. Once this thing stops and it becomes purified, I guess, where it starts shooting out the healing items, I'm closing and reloading the game. Usually once you save the last human soul, there's this little animation that plays that takes like 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, where the souls will like, you know, do this fancy little thing and make Azurill like more fightable. Or not Azurill, but Flowey, different character. And if you close the game as soon as that 6th human soul starts shooting healing items at you and reopen it, it'll start you back in the phase of the fight that where you can start just damaging Flowey normally. The reason it does this is because usually in this fight, if you die, the game will like do a little modified game over screen where Flowey laughs at you and then it crashes the game and you have to reopen it. And it gives you checkpoints because it would be mean not to. So we abuse that a little bit in order to get to the last part of the fight faster. I don't want to encourage spam in a marathon chat because that is sometimes mean. But there is a little Undertale runner tradition where every time Flowey gets hit, people will spam ow So because it's not my chat, I don't want to condone that. So maybe don't spam too hard, but just throw in a little ow.
It's all good. Throw in light ow. Tasteful
yeah, some
ow.
light ow. Light
Tasteful ow.
Tasteful ow. Yeah, you know what? That works. That's the best way to say it.
And I have $5 from Asuka424 that says $5 for the best Pokemon ever. Magmar.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that. I also have $2 from Jake126 who says, someone said put in $2, so I said sure. I like your attitude. Love it. Thank you.
It is very... The attitude in this stream is very awesome. I love it.
Very positive. We have a lot of good slight ow. I'm loving it.
Nice slight ow.
Tasteful ow is
Tasteful
really
ow.
happening in the chat right now. It's beautiful.
Not like you're a giant plant machine getting slapped, but more like, you know, you stubbed your toe very gently.
Ow!
I don't think that's what you say when you stub your toe very gently.
That's true. You know what? That's true.
We have $5 from Demarin that says, Fave Pokemon still going? Of course, it's Clefable. Ooh, that's a good one. Really
That's
like
a good
that.
one.
And we have $10 from Kalazi5 that says, favorite Pokemon? Gothitelle Unova represent. Ooh, that's a good, that's an underrated one. I agree. And we have another $5 from Kalazi5, thank you, that says, it's goat hugging time. I agree. Let's hug that goat. We are getting even closer to our goal of 1,500. We just broke $1,000 for that. Chat,
Oh, dang.
you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for making this happen. Keep the train rolling. We can do this.
Also, since I'm in a cutscene, I went on my phone quickly to see what was up, and I got a notification group I'm in that referenced the fact that I said I don't think I knew what Toby's face looks like, and they said that they met Toby before they made this game and know what their face looks like, although they don't have a picture. So
That's
I guess
pretty
I'm
epic.
wrong, but
It's epic and unfortunate at the same time.
it is. So we're gonna kill Flowey. What we could do is, as soon as Flowey starts talking, we can close the game and make Flowey stop talking, and that'll put us in this little state, and then we can leave. So usually, you have to watch Flowey kind of fade away, and then get to that place where I was. If you just close the game, it'll put you right there. And then as soon as that Undertale splash screen appears that you saw, that is when the game considers a neutral ending achieved. And I can close the game again, reopen it, load my save file as if nothing has just happened. So now I'm in a kind of new game plus where I technically haven't started a new game. So it's not really new game plus, but I have flagged the game as having gotten a neutral ending. So with that, I can now go to Undyne, where you could normally date her without a neutral ending. However, once you have a neutral ending flagged in your game and you go to Undyne, she'll give you a letter at the end of her date. If you do the date before getting a neutral ending, while you're on the bridge back to the core, or on the bridge back to the hotel from the core, which I'm about to get to now, is where you get a call to go get the letter. However, that would just require an extra trip to Undyne's house, so it's really not worth it to do it at any point before you just go to her house to do the date for the first time anyways.
That makes sense. Do we have time for a donation while we walk back to Undyne's house?
Yeah, go for it. I'm just gonna be on a boat.
Nice. We have $10 from Mr_Shasta that says, my favorite Pokemon is Weasel. Good luck with the run, Lori. This run's honestly bringing back a lot of great memories from when I first played this 2 years ago. Who's your favorite character in this game? Mine's Mettaton.
Mine's Alphys.
Alphys is so good.
Alphys is really good. And we're about to get a major part of Alphys's character arc. And also Undyne's. So this is the river person. They can fast travel us to certain areas, and one of those areas is the village in Waterfall where Undyne lives. So I think it's safe to presume that ever since we finished the Papyrus fight, or not the Papyrus fight, but the Undyne fight, and met Mettaton in Alphys for the first time, Papyrus has just kind of been standing here, waiting for us to say hi to Undyne. So this is the Undyne date, and it's probably one of my favorite parts of the game. It's a very funny portion. There's a lot of jokes here about Undyne's intense personality, and it's also very heartwarming. And Undyne is just a very good character, so I do like it a lot. However, it is a lot of cutscene, which means that I don't really have too much to say. So I guess if we have more donations, we can do that. Or there's...
We do.
All right, let's do that first, I guess.
We have a lot of donations. Thank you, everyone who's been watching. We have $50 from Mur and Ricker that says, great game, great cause. Can we get a goat hugging donation train going? I totally think we can. Thank you so much. And we have $5 from Code and Data that says, Magikarp for the win. Also, ow.
Ow.
Thank you for the ow. And we have $5 from Anonymous with no comment, but thank you so much.
Is that all we have for now?
Yeah, and then, yes, and it looks like we're continuing to go towards Hug That Goat. Let's make it happen.
All right, well, if we have more time in this date, I would like to say something, because I've shouted out throughout this run. I have mentioned like one other community. Well, I mentioned three technically, four technically. You two, and then I mentioned Cookie because of my mashing, and then I mentioned Ocean. But there are so many more people that run this game that I would love to shout out. So I'm gonna start with basically everyone who's active right now that I can think of, because there are a bunch of people right now that are, you know, going for the best time they can. Some good friends of mine that have been playing a lot. I'd like to give shout outs to Fixie, Samuel, and Shay, are all great runners of this game. There's also, I think Willie has been playing this game right now, Mr. Link and Bradley. There's just a bunch of people that have been playing this game right now. I can't even, and there's more for sure that I can't think of. But just about everybody in this community is very, like, dedicated to this game. And it's great to see a community of people not only care about each other a lot, but also is a very wacky community, similarly to the game the community is based on. So shout outs to everybody in the Undertale running community. Particular shout outs to Star, thank you. I've enjoyed having you here now.
And I want to mention it now. I'll mention it at the end of the run. Please feel free to join the Discord if you want to learn this game. We are a very friendly community, and we love to have newer runners.
Mm-hmm. So that's the end of Undyne's date. And with that done, we now get to date my favorite character in the game. So I have that letter now. That letter being the key item that you need to have a neutral ending to get. Also, I got the dog boat. Status of the dog boat. It's a pretty, just kind of rare Easter egg. So I'm gonna go date Alphys. There's a funny little musical glitch I could possibly do on this date. I'll see if it happens. If I mash fast enough, I can get a song to keep playing when it's supposed to stop.
I love Dog Boat.
It
So
is a great
good.
boat.
This is 1.001, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't do the kissing glitch.
Nope. Also, unfortunately, despite it being a fun joke that they made fun of in Date with Papyrus, you can't open the dating HUD here. So I cannot expose the fact that it is Thursday night where I am. And now we're in the garbage dump. And this is the part of the dating section of the run where my hands start to get all tense because I've been mashing for a while. And I have to keep mashing, so I'll just soldier through it. It's fine. I don't have pain in my wrists. So we are going to, on a date with Alphys, roleplay Alphys on a date with Undyne, because that's what people do. Sorry if I got quieter. I am in a very different position to try and train on, because there's a lot of tech. Okay, I got a few seconds break.
Yeah, that's one of the things about this game. There's so much mashing, it can induce a lot of pain in your wrists.
Yeah, I usually don't have a problem with. This is the worst it gets for me, and this is only in True Pacifist. So if you just want to learn like neutral, which is like the main category, you don't really have to deal with all of that I just dealt with. And yeah, it's honestly not that bad. It also doesn't help that, like, I guess to be fair with the length of this category, I usually don't do more than one attempt a day. Some of those people I mentioned earlier that have been streaming a lot recently are doing like 3 or 4 hour streams. So it's a very, I guess it could get, you have to talk to them, but they've also been doing it for like years, so they might not risk pain as easily.
By the way, is anime real?
Is anime real? I was about to ask.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Very good, thank you. I needed that confirmation from you, Lori.
You want to know what else is true?
What else is true?
The water is very dry today.
Oh, I see. Let me know when we have time for donations.
This is probably the last good portion to do it before I get to like a very action-intense part of the run.
All right, I'll get as many off as I can then. I have $25 from Zaspian that says, the best Pokemon will always be Arcanine. Good fire tiger dog friend. I agree and don't know what animal it is either.
I think it's a canine.
Okay.
That's about all I know.
We have $15 from Ganamex217 that says, hug that goat. And we have $50 from Anju119 that says, favorite Pokemon? My round child, Gibble. I do like Gibble a lot. And we have $5 from Pzen that says, best Pokemon is Ampharos. I do like Ampharos.
Ampharos is good.
I like, sheep are my favorite animals, so any of the lines that have sheep in them are amazing. And I just want to say that we are at $1,111.17 to our goal of 1,500. You guys' generosity has been amazing. Let's keep pushing. We can do this.
We don't have too much time left. We also don't have too much money left to raise, so.
I know, exactly. So let's keep the donation train going. Keep telling me your favorite Pokemon. I love it.
I clicked the wrong thing. So this is the True Lab. I don't even know where to begin with this area. So the True Lab has these enemies called Amalgamates, who are very scary because in the lore, they are infused with human determination to try and have control of their bodies after death or something like that. But they're now just like these melting monsters because their bodies physically cannot handle human determination. This makes them very confusing enemies because, as you can see by their attacks, they don't really make sense. But on top of that, they do a lot of damage. So it's somewhat easy to die in this part of the game if you're not careful. So I'm probably going to be taking a save at every opportunity I can. And there's going to be a few enemies I want to point out in particular. Such as Endogeny. We have one more use of this, so let's make it count. We have one more use of the stick. So in this game, there's a mechanic called yellow credits, where if you go through the game and you spare at least one version of an enemy, in the True Pacifist ending credits for this game, you'll get a yellow credit next to their name. And it usually does like this little flavor text of where are they now that shows like, you know, how they are now. And if you get a yellow credit, it is usually like a more positive thing than if you don't get the yellow credit. It's actually possible on mini bosses, I think including the Amalgamate, to not get the yellow credit if you do some of those little mini boss skips, like using the stick. So by using that stick, yeah, I'm going faster, but I might be ruining lives. Don't think about it too hard.
You know, save the frames.
Yeah.
That's just how it is sometimes.
There is a miscellaneous category called all yellow credits. That the goal is to actually do that for every monster in the game. So you can't use the stick on mini bosses like that. It's pretty cool. But I can tell you now, with my brain, I would definitely forget something like every run. So
Listen, don't feel bad. Even top runners like sometimes screw up so badly that their run isn't valid. They just totally forget a credit.
It takes a lot of brain to actually do that properly. This is Snowdrake's mother, which is kind of just these slow attacks, and then I have to walk through a good portion of the lab, so the point for donations is going to be right now.
All right, we have $20 from TL38 that says, my favorite Pokemon is Beware. It knows the value of a good hug. Yes, agree. We have $10 from Linalia that says, my favorite Pokemon is definitely Sleeveon. Woo's probably a close second. Also, this money is going to hug the goat because the goat needs hugs. Yes, I agree. We also have $50 from Myra that just says, meow. Thank you.
And reminder, with every second, we are getting closer and closer to, you know, the end of the run. So that hugging the goat is now or never.
Yes, we are only $200 away. We are so close. You guys have raised like probably like $500 in this stream alone. We can do it. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. And with that, we have $100 from Zerberus116. Thank you so much. And they said, Haunter is my all-time favorite Pokemon. So here's $93 for his Pokemon number.
Jeez.
For his Pokemon deck. And 7 extra to make a goat really happy tonight. Hug that goat. Thank you so much for your generosity. That is so kind of you.
All right, and I just finished sparing the final amalgamate. So I am about to move on to the end of this area, where there is a lot of cutscene. So unless we have more donations, this is probably the one last good time where questions from chat can be a good thing.
We still do have donations, so I'm gonna keep rolling with those. Thank you so much,
too.
everyone. We have $3 from Lucas that says, my favorite Pokemon is Litten. This run is great so far. I have a Litten sticker on my water bottle that's sitting right here. We have $25 from Separate Failures with no comment. Thank you so much. We have $3 from Anonymous, and we have $2 from Anonymous, and every single dollar counts. So thank you for everyone who has been donating. I've seen people donate multiple times. I am overwhelmed with how generous you all are being and supporting Lori's awesome run. It's been so much fun being here with Lori and Star Smiley. So fun with chat, and I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. Oh my gosh, we have even more donations.
Go for it.
Every time I refresh, it's just more and more. It's amazing. I've got $25 from Anonymous that said, I have to donate during this run of my favorite game of the last decade. It moved me to tears more than once and will remain a favorite to come. Put this toward hugging the goat because we could all use a hug. I agree. We have $25 from Ride that says, I've been very fortunate lately. Thanks to the runners and organizers for this event. Thank you so much. And we have $10 from Jake139 that says, hug the goat.
All right,
Thank you
we're
so much, everyone.
We're now walking back to the hall of Asgore the King, and we are about to get into the true pacifist ending for reals this. It's going to start off with the same name ending at Asgore scene, where all the characters are going to come together, and then Flowey's going to come up. because Flowey wants to be things.
And just an update on the
Also,
incentive.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Star Smile,
gonna-
go ahead.
I wanted to mention a fun fact. This game has 93 endings. Do with that information what you will.
I'd also like to remind everybody, haven't been keeping track, to stay hydrated.
Good point.
You have a lot of cutscene right now to go get water if you haven't had any for a while.
I love it. And we're at $1,330 out of 1,500. We're so close. Chat, you are filled with determination. I am filled with determination. Let's do this.
This is a fight. The final boss of this category is a fight with a lot of cutscenes, and it takes a lot of turns. So you have more time than you think. It's not hopeless just yet. Get that money in, and we can hug that goat.
And with that, we have $20 from TL41 again. Thank you for donating again. And it says, forgot to add my last $20 to hugging the goat. That is unacceptable. So here's another 20. Thank you. And we have $25 from Fernando166 that says, to be honest, my favorite Pokemon is Napstablook. Love that guy.
Very lovable Pokemon.
And $5 from Anonymous that says, this is my goat hug tax. Thank you. We have a very large donation here. We have $200 from Tetralee.
Whoa!
That says, on a rhyming and limerick note, let's keep this incentive afloat. In a true loving fashion, Azriel needs compassion. So put this towards hugging the goat. Thank you so much, Tetralee. And if I can do math correctly, we have reached $1,544 towards hugging the goat, everyone.
Yay!
We're
made
going to
it!
hug our favorite goat friend. Thank you, every single person who donated during this run. Oh, I'm so happy.
I am very happy about that.
Thank you, Tetralee, again. Take it away, Lori.
We are about to hit the final boss. You know when I was fighting Flowey earlier? That wasn't a genuine mistake. I tried to by saying they are not the same character. I lied. So Flowey takes all the souls, including the 6 human souls, and is able to form back as Azriel as a little bit of time. And Azriel is going to be our final boss. Once the cutscene ends. There we go. So immediately to start, the fight won't actually do anything for a few turns until the music for the fight, one of the best songs in the game, Hopes and Dreams, actually kicks in. So for the first 2 turns, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to use the bandage to try and... I'm going to use that bandage to open some space in my inventory, and then I'm going to... which fully heals me and fills my inventory with a healing item, and then wait for that music to kick in. And then as soon as that starts, I'm just gonna start like mashing through this fight as fast as I can. The reason I do that is just to get those safety healing items in my inventory, while also, you know, not doing too much of the fight before it actually starts, because that would be kind of a waste of time. Dying in this fight is not inherently the worst thing in the world, because you can't truly die here. If you run out of health, what simply happens is your soul will refuse, which is kind of a pun. It will refuse to die, and well, you know, not making you start the fight over, it will still backspace you a few turns, so it's preferable that it doesn't happen. Meanwhile, for the next little while, I kind of just need to move through this fight. There's a few things I can do. I have that healing item, the Last Dream, which will heal me, and I can dream in the act menu to get the rest of my inventory filled out with Last Dreams. I can Hope, which reduces Azriel's attack power for a turn. However, that takes more text than the option I'm doing, which is just spamming the spare button. It's much safer to Hope, but I'm usually better at dodging than I am right now. So mashing spare is the option I usually go with. And I just did take a turn to heal. Because I used the bandage at the beginning of the fight, I got rid of that in my inventory. Because you can't re-equip the starting equipment items, and the bandage was the starting armor before I did all the stuff on Mettaton. So I used it as a healing item. That's what its function is after you unequip it for the first time. And now the goal of the fight is just kind of to survive until a certain point where there's a phase change. I'm looking for a certain text box that Azrael says to know when the fight is about to shift gears, because that's a lot easier of a method to keep track of where I am than counting the amount of turns, especially when I want to commentate about the fight. As you can see, there's only a really small number of attacks that Azrael actually has. However, they're all pretty hard to dodge and do a decent chunk of damage, even with the Stained Apron, which is a really good defense item. When it comes to the apron, that thing also heals me a health point every other turn. So that's a nice little thing I can use to stay alive for a lot longer. But other than that, these attacks will start getting a lot stronger, coming out a lot faster. And this attack is also going to have a special effect where a lot of stars come out. And I managed to dodge them all. So this attack right there, he said, isn't that delicious? That's the text box I'm looking for. I want to not die on this attack. And then what I'm going to do is heal again. Because I'm about to go into his little special attack, which is... I forget the name of it, and he didn't say it. So this attack, where he becomes a giant goat head in the middle of the screen. If you get hit at all at this attack, it'll send you to 1 HP. I just got hit, which is not optimal. You can't die to it, but again, every hit sends you to 1 HP. So I'm going to be doing this section of the fight that I'm about a little bit slower due to the fact that I am at 1 HP right now instead of 20 that I would normally be at if I didn't get hit by that attack. So coming up, I'm about to be struggling, where I'm going to be completely trapped and I can't do anything. So I'm going to die here intentionally, like try to immediately, and you'll see this soul refusing cutscene. So there are 4 turns of this struggling. The goal right now, because I was at 1 HP, is I'm going to try and die there and then die again on the 4th turn of struggling. And that will be faster just because the animation is... Okay, I'm so good at dying in this game. But I just died again. That's not good. I wanted to get hit like maybe once or twice. Okay, I just need to not die on this turn immediately, and...
You've got this. You've got this.
Okay, I want to get... that's still something I want to do. Alright, suddenly I'm too bad at... So, now what we can do is we can start saving the lost souls of our friends. And that is a thing that we do by doing a few actions and remember what we did just happened in that last cutscene that was kind of messed up. So the one that really has the most effect, other than just like picking the right thing, is I want to try and hit every enemy, because as you see, once the Mettaton robots fall me, they start falling really slowly. And that's like one of the biggest time losses that can happen in this fight that isn't like mashing based or text based or mismenuing based. And also, it doesn't take as long as it seems, because the Skeleton Brothers and the Goat couple, although they're not still a couple, they get saved at the same time. So it doesn't take as long, which is cool, because otherwise this fight would just be kind of unnecessarily long for not that good a reason. Also, this is kind of a tease of the Sans fight, but it kind of happens there. If I eat the pie here, and having to do 2 actions in order to move to the next phase, I can do this one in only 1, which is pretty cool. So there we go. And now we have one more we can save. And now we're gonna get a lot of story-based cutscene about the lore of Asriel and the family, the royal family, and it's very sad. Very sad. I'm gonna cry, probably. I cry sometimes during runs of this game, because this is a very good game. If you haven't played this game before, you just got spoiled a lot, probably. But, like,
But
it's
also
very
you
good.
mashed a lot, so like it's
I did, but I also,
still
like,
play.
You should still play the game. It's not even that expensive, so, like, you go get it.
And guess what time it is, everyone?
It's almost time to hug the goat.
It's almost time to hug the goat.
It's gonna happen after all of this fight thing that's happening.
Yeah.
You know, you can just chill for a little bit.
Nice.
So, chat, what's your favorite dish?
I have a few donations here. If we can
I can't name a single Digimon, so go ahead and read donations.
I can't either. I have $50 from Grit Space that says, sending love to all the mods supporting this amazing event. Goat hug! And I also have $26 from Phantomax11207 that says, donate for Odin Sphere character choice of Mercedes, as I've yet to see some speedruns for the fairy.
Odin Sphere is happening after Snap, right?
Yes.
Alright, that seems exciting.
I'm very excited for that.
Once I'm done with my run, I'm gonna get in bed and...
We also have $10 from Spoon101 with no comment, but thank you so much. And we have $5 from Anonymous and another $5 from Anonymous. Thank you to every single person who has donated this run to make Hug the Goat happen.
Also, here we have the most Frosty in the run. Asriel's just gonna keep saying Frosty over and over for a little bit.
Frosty.
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 So shout outs to everybody who donated for the name Frosty.
Yes, thank you.
Speaking of Frosty, though, it is a thing in this run where because of unskippable text or unscrollable text where you have to, where your name is involved, it's fastest to actually have a one-character name, and 6 is the max, so you guys kind of did me a little dirty there, but I mean, it's fine. It's what we wanted, and I'm glad that we got that. But yeah, usually in runs of this game, you'll see people with one character names because it just makes text a little bit faster.
Right. All right, chat. You know what time it is now. You see our goat friend? It's happening.
The barrier is about to break. Or the barrier did just break. So now I'm gonna keep my hand open. There we go. And hug.
Hug. Yes. Yes. What a good friend. We forgive. That's what this marathon is all about, is good hugs and love.
Yes.
Thanks again to everyone who made this happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best
So-
ending.
It is. So that's technically the final boss done. Still is because this is an RPG, and there's stuff that happens in RPGs after the final boss. Mainly dialogue. Do you like that mashing that I've been doing?
I've loved it. I've loved every second of it, Lori.
Well, there's more.
It's not over yet?
I'm
No,
so
it's not.
excited.
This game ends its timer on the last text, so that's what I will be doing, obviously. Where there's a little bit more cutscene, where this whole thing, our goal has been trying to, get out of this world, get to the barrier, and get back to the surface. And now we can do that with every monster on our side. Let's do that. So we're gonna have a small scene out in the surface, and then time is gonna be on the last text box. So So just a little bit more mashing. Big thanks to everybody helping with this marathon. I've done several runs in this event already, and they've... thank you, Star, for commentating with me this time, and Flygon for hosting. I've had a great time with you too.
This has been so much fun with the both of you. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for having me, Lori.
No problem. And there is just a few more seconds before time, so ready for that. And time.
GG.
All right, that
Nice
is
run.
Undertale glitchless true pacifist ending. So we have our credits going now, and I don't have much else to say other than just thank you.
Thanks to everyone for watching and for making Hug the Goat happen. All right, that was an awesome Undertale run. I hope everyone enjoyed the music, Lori's amazing run, Star Smiley's commentary, all the talk about Pokemon. And speaking of Pokemon, we have Pokemon Snap up next as our bonus game number 2. I'm super excited for that. And next, we're going to jump to a message from Malala Fund, and then we're going to have a Twitch ad, and we'll be right back with Pokemon.
Estamos aqui no terceiro acampamento dos povos indígenas da Bahia, num grande ato político pela educação, pela demarcação de terras e por uma melhor saúde.
Visiting Brazil was one of the best trips I've ever made, and it was really fun as well, just to meet with the local communities and just see their passion for change. So in Brazil, only 1.5 million girls are out of school, so the number is not that big. But when it comes to the indigenous population, few of them who can complete their education, most of them drop out, either because of lack of opportunities, either because of lack of investment in their schooling, or because of early teen pregnancies. So for me, it's always important to focus on the most marginalized girls.
Meu nome é Ana Paula, eu sou coordenadora de projetos na ANAI e sou uma campeã pela educação. O Brasil atualmente ele tem 305 etnias diferentes e na Bahia são 23 etnias. As principais barreiras que as meninas enfrentam no Brasil para estudar são gravidez na adolescência, dificuldade de transporte até a escola, casamentos muito novos, elas às vezes casam muito novas, e às vezes também elas são absorvidas por mercado de trabalho muito novas, porque elas têm que ajudar as famílias, aí elas também desistem dessa educação formal, e muitas barreiras, né? Oi, Guga! Oi! Ser um champion pela educação significa ser um ativista local. Me tornam muito mais capacitada para eu poder desenvolver o trabalho com as meninas indígenas aqui na Bahia em prol de uma educação de qualidade. E também me proporciona fazer essa pressão de forma local, mas com esse apoio internacional bem grande. São as meninas que fazem parte do projeto Cunhataí Kihan, junto com a Fundação Malala. E agora a gente está aqui fazendo os cartazes para a gente levar para o ato que vai ter daqui a pouco na luta pela educação.
O projeto ele é muito beneficente, não só para mim, mas para todas. Ele nos fortalece a cada dia. A Malala é nossa inspiração, nosso exemplo.
Poder falar que a gente faz parte do Fundo Malala, que somos campeões pela educação. Essa conexão que a Fundo Malala faz com que a gente tenha essa inserção internacional é muito importante para nós aqui no Brasil, tanto para dar visibilidade quanto para conseguir novas conexões, né? Eu acho que todas as meninas, elas têm uma história muito particular, muito de luta. Se você for perguntar para cada uma delas, elas têm a luta dentro delas. Minhas esperanças para o futuro é que finalmente elas tenham o direito de ter uma educação de qualidade dentro da aldeia.
All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that message from Fund, which all of your donations are going towards to support an amazing cause. And get your favorite Pokemon in chat again, because guess what? It's time for an amazing Pokemon Snap Any% run from Miss Candaria. Let's take it away.